Welcome so much to the You Are Loved series. We are blessed and honored to have you watching today. The story that you're about to hear is very moving. I have no doubt that you will find encouragement from it and hopefully be reminded of how deeply loved you are by your Father. I have Linda with me today. Linda, before we jump into your story, if you could sum up what we're about to hear in just a word or two, how would you do that?
I made it.
I made it.
I survived it, and I made it, and I'm here.
I love it. I love it. So for you watching, if you feel like you can't make it, you're feeling discouraged possibly, or you feel like giving up, then I know that this video is for you and that the Lord has a word for you in it. So Linda, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. I was born in western North Carolina in the mountains. Middle class family. You know, I was loved, had brothers and sisters. You know, I have a good family, very good family. I was the youngest and kind of a little bit, I tried to be best at partying, but does that make sense? You know, all my family, they were older than me, and they were going through their teenage years when I wasn't going through my teenage years, but I went with them, you know. Yeah. And so I started doing things a little early and continued doing things as I went on in my teenage years. I ended up moving to Louisiana and finishing out school there as far as I went. But I kept mostly smoking pot, but drinking heavily. And I never could not drink. And of course, you know, it's not too bad. Drinking, it's legal, this, that, and the other. I wasn't doing it legal, I wasn't old enough.
Yeah.
And I just kept on and kept on. And when you drink, you can do anything else. Anything. You can stop anything. You can stop pain, stop hurt, stop anger. Well, a little bit difficult to stop anger, but you just don't have to deal with a bunch of stuff. And so I continued that on, and I woke up one day and I drank my life away. Wow. My entire life. I'm 55 years old and barely remember a lot of my life. And that's hard. Yeah. My growing up, my younger adult life, my daughter, lost out on a lot of time with her. Then helped try to raise my grandchildren with my daughter drunk. That don't work. No. You know? And I just kept on and I kept on and I kept on. And my daughter had an alcohol problem. I didn't help it. I didn't try to even stop her. But she stopped herself. Wow. Thank God.
It's awesome.
And, but she had to boundary me. Because she had to get her kids okay and get her okay. And I couldn't help her. And so we talked on the phone. And then I just felt like that wasn't enough for me no more. Drinking was horrible. Yeah. My life was the worst thing I could imagine. And barely being able to call it life. Yeah. And I wanted my family back. I hadn't had them. Do you know how long I had? I hadn't had my family since I was like 14.
Wow.
as far as being in my family.
Yeah. So how, I mean, almost 40 years,
Yes, ma'am.
right, of living this, how do you just stop? What,
But God.
yeah, let's hear about that.
And I'm going to tell you, really, I can't call it anything else. My daughter, I was at work. I worked down in South Carolina, and I was living down there at the time. And I had been talking to my daughter. Like I said, we talked on the phone. None of this interfered with us, our relationship. My daughter's always my best friend, and I've always, no matter what little bit I was of me, was always there, just wasn't very good at being a mother, but she was always good at being a daughter. Still is. And she called me, and I was at work, about half lit, 9 o'clock in the morning. And she called me and she said, Mama, have you been thinking about what we've talked about? Because she had gotten sober and was doing real well, but she still had to keep that boundary with me. And she asked me, she said, have you thought about it? And she said, I'll come get you. And I said, you really, are you serious? You will come get me right now? She says, do you want to quit? And I said, I'm ready. When can you come get me? She had my grandkids loaded in the vehicle within 30 minutes. And she lived in western Asheville.
Wow.
In North Carolina. And was there in 4 hours down at Hilton Head, close to Hilton Head where I lived. And picked me up. No questions asked. Nothing.
Wow.
Hugged my neck, put me in the car. I left with nothing. I was still wearing my KFC uniform when I left. And she brought me straight up to North Carolina, put me in detox. And I stayed there for about 8 days. And a friend of hers, a wonderful lady in a ministry that my daughter knows and is a part of, helped me find true purpose. And I said, okay, let's go. And somehow or another it got turned around that I thought I was going to a equine facility that works with equines because I'm a horse person.
Okay.
And turned out, no, that wasn't it.
Must be different, true purpose.
Well, I found out about that before I got here, but I thought, and I was ready, oh, no, I'm not doing it. But I just thought about it, and I said, this is my shot. This is my chance.
Yes.
I said, and I told Misty, I said I'd do it. So I do it. So I got down here. I was placed in the lighthouse. The most wonderful place I could ever been put in. Wonderful. Beautiful people. All of the people that I've ever met have been, or even affiliated with them, are wonderful people. And boy, they took me in, they accepted me. They truly accepted me. Allowed me to be me.
Yeah.
Allowed me to find out who I was. This is, I guess, my story.
So how long have you been at True Purpose?
I have been at True Purpose. I just hit my 90-day, my 3-month sobriety, like the 5th, I think the 5th of June.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was wonderful. It's the longest I've ever been sober, ever. And
it's amazing.
It is. It's an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, amazing feeling. Everything is so different. And not in a bad way. Oh, my word, I thought quitting would be horrible.
Yeah.
It's the exact opposite. All the fighting I had to do every time I worried about waking up no liquor or fighting with a boyfriend or just feeling miserable, body aches, and now I have health problems because of the alcohol. All of that, and when I quit, none of that. Still have the health problems, but we're working with that.
That's right.
It's just, I don't have to make all these life and death decisions now. And I don't have to feel like I'm pressured and rushed into doing something now. You know, I can take a deep breath and just be still. That's the best I can explain it.
That's awesome.
I just have to stop and just wait because things calmly come to me now. It's not fighting and worrying and struggling and stressing and crying and begging somebody to love me, and you know, it's none of that. I've got God loves me
That's right.
absolutely and utterly. That is love.
So let's talk about that love for a minute, because the name of this series is You Are Loved. And I think that when the Lord called us to start these videos, one of the things that he brought to my mind was that in the world, we think we know what love is, or whether we love someone or they love us in return, until they experience the love of God and they think, wow, I had no idea what real love was. So can you, just in your own words, tell me what you thought love looked like before and how it's different for you today?
Well, true love, I don't think I ever believed in true love. You know, love was comfort, security, and not being alone. No matter what you had to do to keep that.
Right.
You know, no matter what you had to agree with, you know, not getting the things that you want, but letting somebody else get what they want, just so that they'll stay with you. And I mean, that's what I went through to have what I was calling love. And that's not love at all. Yeah. Now I'm, first time I felt love, real love, I mean real God love, was, you know, I thought I was saved, and I guess I was, you know, years ago. But when I was, when I come true purpose, and had a class, and this lady, can I name names?
You can.
Beth.
Just first names.
Okay, Miss Beth. She was doing a class, and I was my first class, actually, my first class. And I was late to it because they left me. They forgot I was there and left me. And Rachel had to bring me to class. And she was in the middle of class and just called me. She said, come here and stand by me. And I was like, okay, I'm in trouble now. You know, I didn't.
Right.
And, but she came to me, she says, you are loved. She says, you're not lost anymore.
Wow.
She said, God loves you. And she said, whatever you have on you, in your heart, in your mind, ask God to forgive you. That's all you've got to do. And I did. And I mean, I'm not saying it happened right then, but as I gradually started praying and thinking, you know, let's try this. And I would think of just something I had done wrong that I really felt guilty about. And I would just calm myself and just, please, Jesus, God, please forgive me. And it got to where I'd feel this peace. And then when I would, if I did think back on it, it wouldn't be that heart-wrenching, oh my God, oh my gosh. You know, it was, you know, you're cool. You've been forgiven. You're all right.
It's amazing how simple that is, isn't it?
Yeah. And you know, things, you know, I've done a lot of wrong in my life. You know, I've hurt people, not always mostly not on purpose.
Right.
But things will just pop into your mind, you know. And when it hits my mind, I say, Lord Jesus, I'm so sorry I did that. You know, and it just an instant, now it's just instant. Throwing it out there, hey, I know I did it, and I'm sorry, can you forgive me? And it's just, yeah. I mean, it's just serious. That's what I feel is, yeah, okay. We got
Every
that.
time. I love that.
And
His grace just
that's love.
blows my mind.
Yeah, that's love. And I'm not upset anymore. And I'm home as far as I'm concerned. As far as I have no thoughts of leaving the lighthouse. I now work for them
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Congratulations. I didn't know that.
Yes, I am a receptionist for them, part-time, and live there, still live there. And I love everybody that's there.
It's amazing.
And the support they give you, that is incredible, incredible.
Wow. So, Linda, there's a lot of people that are stuck in their addiction or that are feeling discouraged or unsure if they can make that step like you did, right? Like where they say, I just surrender it all and I'm starting fresh. And so they're feeling a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, a lot of fear. What could you say to them that would help bring them some encouragement or some hope?
No matter what you feel about yourself, God doesn't feel that way about you. He doesn't. Every bit of the bad that you feel about yourself is from the devil, it's from the enemy
Yes.
to keep you away from God. And no matter what you have, if you do not have shoes to put on your feet, if you will give it to God, trust Him, trust God's people, because He works through so many people.
Yes.
That if you say, I need, please help me, they're there because God's put them there. And just, that's all you got to do. The only thing you got to give up is the pain, the shame, the sorrow. Just give that up.
Yes.
Everything else is easy.
That's beautiful. Wow, and I love that too. I think that just laying it down and surrendering it, but we always think of that as like, well, I have to lay down my wants and I have to lay down my needs, but no, you just lay down your shame and your guilt and your fear. I love that.
Exactly, because you'll be amazed that your wants change. The things that you need, that you think now you need, you don't need them anymore. You won't want them anymore. Because your whole world will change. You become a new person. I won't doubt that. I won't tell you anything that's a lie or anything. No, you will be another person.
Yes.
But that's an amazing person that you'll be happy to get to know, I think. I was.
I love that. I love that. So is there anything else about your story or your past or anything that I didn't ask or anything else that you wanted people to know?
Just keep believing in God. And don't let somebody tell you he's not real. That kills me. He's real everywhere you look. Everywhere.
Yes.
And when you ask yourself, well, why wasn't he there when this happened to me or this happened to me? He was.
That's right.
A lot of things could happen to you, and you think back and say, I could have died. This could have happened, this could have happened. What do you think made it not happen?
Yes, that's good. I love that. Well, I'm so grateful for you. I've had the chance to meet you before. I know you, but I didn't know your story. Not like this, and so I'm grateful that you were willing to open up and share it, because that's hard to be vulnerable and talk about almost 40 years of bad choices. Like it's hard to talk about that sometimes. But that vulnerability will be what allows someone else to think, gosh, if it took her, people think, well, I've gone too far, right? I've done this for too long, but you're living proof that that's not true.
Oh, yeah, I used to say all the time, oh, I'm going to be a drunk for the rest of my life. I'll never quit drinking. I'm this, that, and the other. And that you're telling yourself that, which making it true.
Yeah,
Stop telling yourself that.
that's right. That's right.
Tell yourself, no, I'm not a drunk. I'm Linda. Or whatever your name is.
You're right. You are a
But-
child of God,
Right,
Who has
yeah.
been chosen and redeemed and restored, who is loved, who has
That's
a
right.
purpose for your life.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And you weren't put here just for nothing. You wasn't just a poof, you're there. You have a reason to be here.
That's right. Absolutely. I can't wait to see how the Lord uses you in the coming months and years.
Yes, ma'am.
And I just want to thank you again for being willing to share. And I have no doubt that there are going to be lives changed because of it. So thank you.
You're welcome.